Alright, Mr. Claxon's Algebra 2 class coming back here for part 3. We did some chunking problems already. We did problems 13 and 6. Whoa, Mr. Claxon. 13 and 15 together. 13 and 15 we did together in part 2. We're now going to take these products and quotients and try to break them up into smaller numbers here. I've done a problem to show you about multiplying by 5. Now let's do a problem that talks about dividing by 5. We're going to come down here and use this magenta color. And I'm going to see how does blue show up? Looks alright. So in number 16 up here, we're taking negative 60 and we're dividing it by negative 5. I know because I have two negative numbers being divided here, I know that my quotient is going to be positive. So I'm just going to consider 60 divided by 5. I think of 60 divided by 5 in high school as 60 over 5. Please excuse that sloppy handwriting there. 60 over 5. And I'm thinking right now of different ways that I can look at this. Someone mentally can look at this as what would be 60 divided by 10. You could think of what is 60 divided by 10. I'm going to go ahead and change the color on that if possible. And that is not possible to do. So I'm going to come back over here. I don't know. Not exactly sure what I was doing there. Okay, 60 divided by 10, I know would be 6. That's the same as 6. 60 divided by 10 is 6. I know I can just take those zeros out of the equation there. So if I were to divide by 5, I know there would be twice as many groups as if I divided by 10. Twice as many groups mean I'm going to double whatever 60 divided by 10 was. So I know that 60 divided by 5 is actually equal to 12. If you're struggling with that, you might just know, too, that 12 times 5 is 60. You might have said, what multiplied by 5 is 60? Well, 10 times 5 is 50. So 12 times 5 is 60. If you're still struggling with that, you can use that chunking method to break up 60 into an easier product. You could break up 60. Oh, this is a nice one because I could break up 60 into 6 times 10. When I break it up into 6 times 10 over 5, I can now use cross-canceling. So I can use that cross-canceling to show that, wait a second, Mr. Claxon, I know what 10 over 5 is. I know that down here there's one group of 5, and up here there's two groups of 10. So if that's the case now, I could rewrite this as 6 times 2 divided by 1. 6 times 2 divided by 1, we all know, is 12. That's how I use chunking with division, chunking with division, in order to solve, in order to evaluate negative 60 divided by 5. We're going to now use chunking with division for 70 divided by 14. So I'm going to go ahead in number 19 and say 70 divided by negative 14. Come on, Mr. Claxon. You know that's going to be a negative, so now we can just worry about 70 and 14. Now I'm going to try to write 14 a different way. I know, well, 14 and 70 for that matter, a different way. I know that 70 can be rewritten as 7 times 10. And this is very unique because 70 and 14 share common factors here. And I know that I can rewrite 14 as 7 times 2. So now I can cancel out 7 divided by 7 because I know 7 divided by 7 is just 1. I know that's one group of 7, and I know over here I have one group of 7. And I know that 1 divided by 1 is 1. So now, this makes it a little easier because I just have 10 divided by 2. And we should all know what 10 divided by 2 is. After I get that nasty blue line out of the way, we can write that 10 divided by 2 is 5. And that's how to use that chunking method and cross-cancellation to make division problems a lot easier to solve.